Jarrod, are England in a better or worse place going to Australia than they were 6 weeks ago? I would say that we've learned nothing about England. I think the problems are still problems. Crawley and Pope aren't scoring enough runs. Bashir's not good enough. The fast bowlers just can't seem to stay fit at the same time. And then the good things are still really good. Duckett's smashing at the top. Brook and Root are two of the best batsmen in the world. Jamie Smith's really good. So it feels like the problems are still the problems and the good things are still the good things. I don't think, as this comes to an end, I've learned anything new about this England team.
I suppose Stokes getting a little bit of batting form at the end is handy.
Okay.
And he now looks like a great bowler. The problem is that if he has to bowl like that all the way through the Ashes, how many test matches does he play? So that's maybe the one positive you would swing back towards them. But I think you're right. They're still very good at chipping out wickets, I think.
I would say Josh Tongue is a great find.
Yeah, but is
he once he gets it right, he's going to be a nightmare. He has to get it right. Somebody has to work with him, and it comes with experience.
That first spell at the Oval was...
Once he gets it right, man, he has got the height, he's got the wide release beyond the perpendicular. KL Rahul...
Do you want to explain that to Sam?
No, I got that, to be fair.
like Ben Stokes. Come on, Jarrod.
He wouldn't speak to John Norman like that, would he?
Yeah, I definitely would. Yeah.
Like Ben Stokes, the release is so wide.
Yeah.
KL Rahul, one of the best levers of the ball, he had no idea what is coming in, what is going away, and he played a shot in isolation. You would call it a bad shot, but it was all Josh Tongue's angle and height. And if you have both of these things, height means you get seam movement. The width of the release means you make batters play balls that they don't want to play.
I still think though it's more of the same though. Even if he's gone ahead of Cars, it's still more of the same. Of these are guys who can bowl very good spells, but they're also going to get absolutely hammered at times, right? And they're going to, if they go up against, Head or whoever's in form, if Australia has any batters that are in form at that stage, they're going to get hammered as well. So it's the same thing of they have bowlers who can chip away. They've now lost Wokes, which is quite important. And also Cars...
I think Wokes would have been important in Australia.
I think they were going to play him. Whether he would have been good or not is a different argument.
It depends on the pitches. If the pitches were going to be anywhere close to what India played on last year, Wokes would have been handy.
So Cars struggled in this series to take wickets generally. So now that's two guys who can bat a little bit.
I expected much more from Cars.
Yeah, that's two guys who can bat a little bit who are now not going to be going to Australia, right? So Overton... I think we know his limitations.
That was a bizarre pick, wasn't it?
It was a bizarre pick. Bethel bowled like you bowled. Like he just looked so...
Come on.
You're in trouble, Jacob. Is he being harsh?
He's being patronizing to you.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. That's completely normal. It'd be weird if he wasn't.
You can't bowl at all though, can you?
No, this is about Jacob Bethel, not me.
Okay.
I don't think you're trying
now
to say
I'm being
Jacob
harsh
Bethel.
on Jacob Bethel.
You're being really harsh on Jacob Bethel there.
But I'm saying, I don't think Jacob Bethel can play in Australia unless he's playing as a specialist batter. Right?
Sure.
Right. Based
and
on
from what we have seen of him,
he didn't look particularly good with the bat either. So, look, you're right. I think you're right. The questions that we had before are still there,
right?
But the one thing I would swing back on there is that they had more. I felt they had some all-round depth with Wokes and Cars before. That now doesn't look as strong. One of them isn't going to play, and the other one may not play as big a role.
I think the batting looks better than it did before the start of the series, especially after the Oval Test. The way I was not a big baseball fan, but I'm a bit of a convert after what Duckett did in this test.
Just took you 3 years and then winning double the amount of tests that they used to win.
Because it has never worked on seaming pitches. It worked on a seaming pitch here, on a 200 par score. If it can come off, if they can attack their way, and some of the green pitches in Australia can be lottery pitches, especially the day-night test. If it can come off, and they can get themselves scores, who knows? With the ball, you just have to, because if it is really those green seaming pitches like the Sydney was, you do not need Tongue to come back and double up spells.
Yeah, that's
spell
true.
after spell. So
and Jofra on those wickets should be unplayable.
Mark Wood's back. Gus Atkinson can play more.
Jofra has come back.
You know what? Gus Atkinson, who I'm not the world's biggest fan of, on those wickets should be their best bowler, right? Like if all he needs to do is just keep hitting the seam, and you're in trouble.
He actually on this pitch he got the least seam, got the least swing, which is why he got the wickets.
Yeah, sure, interesting. So you've obviously covered India in Australia. and winning in Australia.
He's very old. He's worked for a long time. He's covered everything.
Remembers to see it. So when you look at what made that team successful there, and you've just been here in England, obviously covering this series, what can England do in Australia, and what are the potential problems England face?
That team had 3 fast bowlers at their absolute peak. I'm talking about the 2018 one. 2020, I still don't know how India managed to win. I'll never know. 2018,
That's your job, isn't it? Is that what you're opening?
Yeah, I know. I have no idea how this team of, as he said, work experience guys and net bowlers went on and beat Australia at Gabba. But in 2018, they had 3 fast bowlers at the prime of their skill, of their fitness, of their experience, which is what you need to beat Australia and Australia. Ideally 4 fast bowlers, but 3 at least, and then a very good spinner. India had Ashwin on that trip. He made a big difference. The test that India...
Crucially, bringing it back to England then, that's something England clearly, we don't even have a decent spinner, do we?
Well, it looks like that, but I think they're persisting with Shoaib Bashir because they see a higher ceiling in him. They know what Liam Dawson brings.
What's the ceiling you see for Shoaib Bashir? I'd be interested.
I keep hearing the word ceiling. I'm not sure what this means.
It's just that with his height, high ceiling for Shoaib Bashir is not his height, but because of his height, he does put action on the ball. If he can get it right from that height, there is something to work with. And Liam Dawson, you know what you get.
Yes.
Steady left arm spin, which will rely more on the natural variation to beat the other edge to get a wicket, whereas Shoaib Bashir can actually bring both the edges into play.
So Jarrod, are England in a better or worse place then? You've been there every single day of the last 5 Test matches. Where are England at? They've been through India, 2-2 draw. What can we expect going into the Ashes?
They're in almost an identical place.
Cut.
Yeah, I think they're almost identical.
Yeah.
Because
okay, so fine.
If Stokes can bat and bowl the way he did in the last Test, and if he's fit, that can cover for Wokes and Carr.
Can I ask you a question about Stokes?
No.
When he gets injured,
I said no.
I'm going to ask you a question anyway. Why don't England just pick Sam Curran to be a like-for-like replacement? Because every time he gets injured, they always try and, like the Jacob Bethel inclusion.
Like for like is doing a lot of lifting, yeah.
They're both, they're both mammals.
Can I clarify that? I'm not saying Sam Curran is anywhere near as Ben Stokes.
You said he was better.
There's your caption. The point I'm making is, when Ben Stokes doesn't play, they always try and change the balance of the team. And I think they get worse for it.
Well, I think
should they not go like for like in terms of an all-rounder for an all-rounder? That's what I meant.
Well, I think they think Overton is an all-rounder.
Right, but
because he's a like for like
for Tim Brisbane.
Is he the like for like for Sam Curran?
Overton's probably closer to Sam Curran than either of them after Ben Stokes.
Let's say the worst happens if Ben Stokes pulls up in the first Test match then in Australia. What is the best way then for England to balance their team without Ben Stokes?
Come home.
I like that idea. We haven't got the rights to it anyway, so we might as well. That would be it.
You can't.
Okay.
There's only like 15 or 20 cricketers in the history of the game like Ben Stokes.
Yeah.
You can't replace him. You're better off to actually
can't.
go with 6 batters and 4 bowlers. But England seem positive that either Bethel or Overton or Sam Curran are those players, and they're probably not.
Which is the same mistake India keep making. Every team makes that mistake. If you don't have a proper all-rounder, play specialists.
Wasn't it great to see, after watching the entire series, England went, do you know what we've learnt from India? We need a shuttle tackle.
Nobody needs a shuttle tackle, do they? Even Shard, apart from Essex, they wanted a shuttle tackle, didn't they?
They were the ones who really lost out. He would have taken like 50 wickets for Essex.
How many wickets would he have taken early season for Essex?
He would have been around everywhere.
So I think this
would have made 100 as well.
This conversation basically is, are we in a better or worse place? Nobody knows.
Exactly.
You're saying they're exactly the same. Do you think there is anything England can do or will do then from here until the Ashes in terms of a left field pick, a left field selection to try and change that? Or are we going to just go to Australia with the same top 7, the same sort of bowling attack and have the same outcome?
Well, I don't think they're allowed to change their batting order. They've made that decision.
Is there a law that Zach Crawley can never be dropped?
Zach Crawley has to play until the end of this Ashes because this is the Ashes he's supposed to be great in. And so he has to play until the end of this. So they're not going to change their batting. And the bowling, they'll probably have a touring group of like 25 people because they're going to have the Lions over there as well, right?
Sure.
So I think they'll just pick from whichever fast bowler is genuinely fit at that time.
Okay.
And we might see, they might try and bring in someone who can bat a little bit more now that Wokes is not around. But maybe that just means the cast starts in the first couple of matches.
Okay. Sid, final word for you on this?
Slightly better off, but having lost Vokes and Cars is not good news, especially Vokes.
Okay.